Hey guys, today I'm gonna be talking to you about something a little bit different, a little bit, I guess, kind of like off topic. God gave me this message to give to somebody out there that's going through it with maybe their relationships, guy or girl. It doesn't matter nowadays. It's the roles switch nowadays. Um, it's different. It's just weird the way the game goes, the relationship game goes. It's these girls got different agendas, these guys got different agendas. Before, if it was once a certain way, guys did it a certain way, and girls felt like the guys were doing it to them. Now it's kind of a role switch. Girls are now doing what guys used to do, and you know what I mean. So, with that being said, there's a lot of relationships out there that guys and girls go through where they get threatened. Um, they get threatened by maybe something they've said or actions they've done, in order to stay into these relationships, these toxic relationships, these relationships that don't serve you. A lot of people are scared to leave them because they get threatened. I've had my fair share of relationships, and out of some of those, a few of them, I've gotten threatened on stuff. And oh, if you're not going to be with me, well, then I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. Let them. Let them. That's the easiest answer. You know what? Go for it. You got to see how these relationships are and break the cycle, because if not, you're going to stay stuck in something that you just not comfortable in. You don't get any satisfaction from it, from love, or you don't have a peaceful relationship. It's kind of like one-sided. A lot of these girls, guys, nowadays they use the word, what is this word? It's narcissistic. I believe the person that came up with that word is a narcissist themselves. Um, a lot of people throw that word around, and really they're the ones that are narcissistic. Um, you got to get away from that, guys. You cannot be stuck in something like that. Literally, I've been in relationships where I feel trapped. If you feel trapped, if you feel like you're stuck, you really need to go. You cannot stick around. You cannot, oh, let me see how it's going to work out in a year from now. You're just digging your own grave, buddy. You got to let that go. You got to let these toxic ways go, these toxic girls, toxic guys go. They're using you for your love, using you for your anything, for your place, for your mental, for your ideas, for anything. It could be for anything. If you're being used, stop that. Stop being used. Move on with it. If they're telling you, oh, well, I'm gonna do this, let them. Just let them do it. Okay, you go ahead, right along. Don't let somebody feel like you gotta stay in a relationship because of the things that they say. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. I've heard things that we're gonna be told this and that, or I'm gonna tell. Go ahead. Go ahead. When the time comes, the people will really see who was the right one and who was the wrong one. God's not going to allow it to continue that way. He's going to test you and see if you can leave, to see if you can go, see if you can free yourself from this situation, see if you choose to do better, choose to do right, choose to follow your path. Focus on God, focus on yourself, focus on others. You put God first, and you put your needs. I'm not saying being selfish, but you balance yourself out. You give your time and effort to those as needed, not as on demand, or hey, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do it that way. No, you balance yourself out. You do it in a balanced level, balanced mind, balanced heart. All your decisions. If something's not being fair, bring it up. If you're just sitting on it, waiting on it, oh, I'm gonna tell her one day, or man, I can't wait till the day I tell her or him. Stop that. Now's the time, and communicate. Don't do it in a angrily fashion. Don't blow up. If somebody already blew up, then you lost. Don't even talk about it. Just give some time, come back to it in a right state of mind. Talk about it. Communication. Everybody understands to do things with a balanced mind, balanced heart. You don't need to argue. You don't need to fight. You don't need to fight it out. None of that. If it gets You know, if it gets violent, then that's really a big no. Like, no, it's not supposed to happen. Nobody should ever put their hands on each other. Nobody should ever, you know, try to force somebody to understand. And let's be real here. If the person's not wanting to understand, then the person's not for you, period, because they're not even trying to negotiate on, okay, I kind of see it his or her way. Okay, you know what? I was wrong. We're both wrong. Let's get to a conclusion of this. Let's move on from it. Whether you separate or you don't, if you keep it together, fine. At least you talked about it. But if you are going through these cycles where it's just no changing, you don't see no change in sight, the person's not wanting to change, you're not wanting to change, then it's time to give it up. There's no use torturing yourselves and doing it that manner. Another thing is I hear people say is they do it for the kids. Let's be real here. If you're doing it for the kids, you're torturing the kids. You're hurting the kids, because the only ones that are going to suffer is the kids. Long term, they're going to see y'all fighting. They're going to wonder what mom and dad are doing differently, why they're separated, why they got different people, or why they're cheating, or who knows. You know, it's not even the way to go. You shouldn't even be cheating. But that's what comes to it when relationships get toxic and it gets really, you know, violent out there, or you get threatened. Oh, well, if you leave, I'm going to say this. And if you, thumbs up, go for it. You do that. Because the only ones that are going to suffer are the kids. That's not fair. That's being very selfish. You're being extremely selfish. Not a good solution. So that, I've heard that a lot. Oh, I'm doing it for the kids. That's not a good way. That's the worst excuse ever. You need to better yourselves. You need to better yourself. You need to change yourself first within to expect to be able to love somebody else. Another thing is you need to love yourself. You need to love yourself before you can love somebody else. If your person is going through insecurities, if they, you know, they're always checking your phone or you're always checking your social media, that's already insecure. You're already not living with God. You're already wondering what if, and people, you gotta understand, these people that we meet and date are not meant to be in our lives forever. You can't force somebody to be in a relationship with you when that's not the one for you. So if they're gonna go, whether you have kids or not, whether you have, you know, possessions or not with each other, you're gonna have to figure it out and let it go, because you're just torturing yourself, you're torturing others. And at the end of the day, that's not even supposed to be your person, because for one, we don't own nobody, and that's not your person, because clearly if you're having that many problems, you're not meant for each other. I know we love each other. I know, you know, it might seem like it's hard to go a day without that person. But isn't it more torturous when we're forcing ourselves, arguing every day, or being threatened, or vice versa? It's a lot more work. It's a lot more harder. Ain't nobody want to live like that. That's not the way to live. I've been threatened by several women, you know, if you leave, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Go ahead. Go ahead. The people, your true friends, your true family, they know the truth. They know where to filter out, you know, the BS. And at that, you shouldn't even worry about what anybody says anyways, because they're not living your life. You live your life. You live it the way you need to for the better of yourself and a better tomorrow for others. We got too many things going on in this world for people not to work on themselves. If you think you're perfect, you're already in the wrong. If you think you got nothing to work on, or I don't got nothing to work on, I'm great, I'm good, you're the problem. You're the problem. Everybody should work on themselves daily. You know, maybe not every day. You know, try to focus on giving yourself some goals of making better decisions. You know, if you drink, stop. If you smoke, stop. If you cheat, stop. If you lie, stop. Because if you don't, when are you going to stop? It's just going to spiral out of control, get worse and worse. Bad habits become, you know, addictions is what it seems like. And that's not what you're trying to do. God got me to say this message today because, you know, there's a lot of relationships out there, a lot of people that stay in relationships because of threats and accusations, you know. if you leave, I'm going to do this. Just stop that already. If that's what your person is doing to you, can you imagine 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line? And if a person cheats on you or keeps cheating on you, do you think they're ever really going to change? Or like this, let's say, for instance, you took somebody from somebody, you took somebody's person. If they left that person that they were supposed to love and be loyal to, if they cheated on them or left them for you, what do you think is going to happen when the next person comes around that catches their eye? Think they'll stick around forever? Exactly. So it's up to you and the consequences that you get out of your actions. You can't blame nobody but yourself. And if you're not looking for a solution for your problem in a peaceful, calm way, then you're just asking for it. You just wanting to stay in a loop, stay in a cycle. So when you're hitting these problems in life and you're crying to your friends, why this won't change? Why can't I change it? It's never going to happen. It's not happening because you're not letting it happen. You need to make the decisions and move on if the place that you're at is not for you. Quit forcing people. Quit letting people force you, trick you, vice versa. It's all need to stop. Look for somebody that meets you halfway, understands you, wants to communicate without arguing. And if you're trying to, argue with somebody or your person and you're desperately trying to get them to understand, trust me, they got it the first time. You don't even need to repeat it the second time, third, fourth, 10th. You never needed to. They heard it the first time. It's just not you that they want. And they're using these reasons of, I didn't get it, I don't understand, or no, they got it the first time. If somebody loves you and if somebody's one with God, they're going to respect God, they're going to respect themselves, they're going to respect you. And if they just act like they got no sense and they're just going on with these circles, guys, it's just a circle, it's a cycle. You need to just get out of that relationship. They already got it the first time. They understood you the first time. They're just making it hard on you. Maybe they don't want you. Maybe they never loved you. Maybe, who knows? But when you gotta explain it to somebody and they act like they just don't get it, or if you have to keep explaining it and it's like the 5th time already and you're like, dude, this is just too much. It's because it is too much. So God just wanted me to give you all this message, quick message, just to let y'all know, if you're going through it out there in a relationship and you feel trapped, you need to leave. If you feel stuck, you need to leave. If you're willing to work it out, talk about it. But talk about it. If you're going to argue about it, give it some time, come back to it. Decide what's best for you, your family, your spouse, and do it in the right way. Let all these toxic ways go. All those people that say toxic or on their posts talk about how happy they are being toxic. You're just sick. You really need to stop that. I see people wearing toxic shirts like it's a trend, like it's something cool to do. No, you just need help and you need God in your life. When you repent your sins, you forgive others and they forgive you, move on if it ain't for you. Just wanted to give y'all a little bit of words today. It's a nice Saturday. I came outside to make this video. Just want to let y'all know that, guys, and just, be easy, be safe. Peace.